And President Obama attacking Donald Trump, although not by name, multiple times yesterday in his so-called Three Amigos news conference. What does his son Eric have to say about it? Well, I asked him earlier. All right, we have Eric Trump joining us here on The Real Story. Eric, thanks for joining me today.
It's great being here.
President Obama seems to have very thin skin as it relates to your father, and he had this to say during a press conference about what he calls the anti-immigration sentiment in the U.S. Take a listen.
We've had times throughout our history where anti-immigration sentiment is exploited by demagogues. We should take some of this rhetoric seriously and answer it boldly and clearly. But you shouldn't think that that is representative of how the American people think.
It sounds like fear-mongering. He's trying to, demonize your father, scare people from him, and say that he's somebody that's, anti-immigration.
And I just don't get it. I mean, how many more people have to die, right? You had 41 in Turkey, right? You had tons in Brussels. You had Paris that got shot up. You had the World Trade Center. I mean, you have real immigration problems. It's not just in the United States. It's all around the world. Listen, my mom's an immigrant. My mom came here from a communist country. The difference is she came here legally. She came here and she assimilated and she worked and she, learned the language. It's not an anti-immigration. It's keeping the bad guys out. It's keeping our country safe.
It's a real problem, and then your father is offering specific solutions and ideas to say perhaps we should actually vet the people a little bit more carefully. When you have ISIS telling us that they're going to use the refugee path to be able to get terrorists into this country, and then you have our intelligence director saying we don't have adequate means to be able to screen all these people, why isn't your father's idea a good one then?
By the way, and the worst part about it is, 200,000 refugees coming into the country, you can't screen them. ISIS says they're going to infiltrate, exactly what you said. The intelligence says they're going to have bad people in there. Terrorism is going to, be within that group. But we have 57% unemployment in inner cities, right? Minority groups in inner cities, youth that can't find jobs, that have no opportunity, yet we're allowing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people to come in, terrorists among them,
yes,
and they're going to continue to take more and more jobs. So it's not just the fact that there's bad people in there. I mean, obviously, if there's one bad people in the 200,000, you can't let them in, right? But it's also the fact that we have a real jobs problem in this country. We have a manufacturing problem in this country. We've sent all our jobs and industry overseas because of
exporting America,
silly deals like NAFTA and TPP. We have to put America back to work, and that really factors into this equation.
Okay, there's something else interesting I want to talk to you about, because President Obama, again, talking about your father and whether or not he's a populist. Listen to this.
Somebody else who has never shown any regard for workers, they don't suddenly become a populist because they say something controversial in order to win votes. It's not the measure of populism. That's nativism or xenophobia or worse, or it's just cynicism.
Your reaction?
It's really amazing. Wages under President Obama have been absolutely stagnant. They've been absolutely stagnant for the last 12 years, right? Obamacare has caused more people to have to get second and third jobs to be able to remain afloat. People don't have health care. Everything's now being subsidized, by the government. More people are out of work than ever before, right? You have 100 million people out of the workforce, despite what the whole 5% unemployment says. We all know that's a false number. America has real problems. I just mentioned the 57% of inner city minority youth that are unemployed and can't find jobs. We've lost 1/3 of our manufacturing between 2000 and 2016. I mean, when does this end? It's not a populist message. It's a pro-American message. It's a all-American message. It's a let's get America back to work. Let's keep America safe. And that's really my father's platform. It's actually very simple. I mean, this country has given him and our family everything. And I say that all the time. It's given us everything. He wants to bring back prosperity to this country. It's just that simple.
Fantastic. Eric, always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Kimberly.
For stopping by today.
Really great seeing you as always.